Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Harakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who I learned this truth from. Sincere and hearty blessing to Yakim out there pushing this truth and remaining fervent in spirit. All right, to your Akwaf who are listening and learning and obeying to the best of your ability. All right, according to the scriptures. Now, today's lesson, I'm just gonna touch on a few things, mainly stemming from Revelation 16, verse 12. All right, and it reads, "And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared." All right, let's go into that, break this down a little bit. All right, let's see what the vial represents in this precept. A broad, shallow bowl, a deep saucer. All right. Strong's definition: a broad, shallow cup that's going into this is not literally, all right, but figuratively. Okay. Representing judgment. Okay. Being poured out from Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah. All right. Alright, Vial. We'll go into alright. So leave it there. I'll read it again. Revelation 16, verse 12. "And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared." Now, I actually have a map here for those of you who don't know. All right, maybe you're hearing this for the first time or just don't know in general. This gives a brief outline of the Middle Eastern nations, all right, which are known as Asia. Of course, then you have North Asia, Southeast Asia, okay. When it goes into the kings of the east, okay, the kings of the east, as you can see according to this map, all right, where you have some major players. You got Russia, you got China, all right, you got India, all right, and further to the east, you got North Korea, South Korea, okay, Japan, etc. All right. So when it reads, it says, "And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared." Okay, this is going into the prophecy, all right, that is going to be fulfilled, all right, where all the nations are going to be assembled, all right, in the valley of decision, all right, in the known as the Jehoshaphat or Yahweh Shaphat. Okay, that's where it's all gonna go down. Yahweh Shai is gonna conquer and obliterate the armies of the world, man. All right. Let's move on here. But this is just a visual for those of you who are aware, all right, of where things are located on a map, and also that the countries that are to the east, okay, of the Euphrates River. Okay, so you got the Euphrates, and then on over the Euphrates first off runs, looks like from Armenia, all right, all the way down through Syria, through Iraq, and dumps off in the Persian Gulf. Okay, but nonetheless, the kings to the east of the Euphrates are Iran, okay, and then you got smaller nations, and then you got major kings, all right, China, Russia, India, etc. Further on to the east. All right, just for a brief overview and clarification for those who may not know. Now, it's important to know what's happening in that part of the region and to keep track of it with prophecy. All right, because Revelation 16 and 12 is going to usher in. All right, right before the return of Yahweh Shai and Mashiach. Okay, and that's when the world's gonna see war like it's never seen war before. All right. Next, I'm gonna go to Joel. Joel chapter 3, which I had already. You know what? I'll just get it again. All right, Joel 3, and we'll start at verse 11. It says, "Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about." All right. So the nations of the kings to the east are heathen. Okay. It's your Moabites, your Ishmaelites, your Gog and Magog. You got and all the major players over there. Okay. All right. Those are heathen countries. Okay. Now you have Israelites of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that are scattered. All right, and who may look like the the people of those nations. Nonetheless, the nations themselves are heathen nations. Okay. Let's read on. It says, "Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh Shem Shai." Okay. So Yahweh Shem Shai is going to gather these nations, man. Where? From the east. Okay. The east of the river Euphrates. Verse 12. "Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat." All right. And let's see the meaning of Jehoshaphat. Valley of Yehoshaphat. Yep, Yehoshaphat. So Yahweh has judged. All right. Also, Strong's definitions also of a valley near Jerusalem. Okay. Which, if you look that up, it is literally a valley. Okay. You can, all the armies are going to gather there, and we're going to see what's going to happen. All right. Yahweh Shem Shai is a man of war. All right. We're going to see that when that time comes. All right. So it's important for those of you out there, just keep your eyes out on what's happening over there in that region. And with the kings of that region. All right. And the role that they're going to play. Okay. And picking each other off. Okay. And then all hell breaking loose, and Yahweh Shai is going to return. Okay. Thus fulfilling prophecy, which is Second Ezra, 13th chapter, which I had. Yeah, you could actually start from Second Ezra 13, And you could just start from verse 3. All right, all down. Joel 3 and 12. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Let's take a look at that word heathen. All right, Gawi. In the Hebrews, Gawi. Nation, people, usually of non-Hebrew people. All right, non-Hebrew people. Those are the nations outside of Israel, man. All right. Strong's definition says a foreign nation. Foreign to who? Foreign to the nation of Israel. Okay. Which is Israel being the only nation that Yahweh Shem Shah has chosen and that he is known, man. All right. Everybody else counted as heathen, man. All other nations. Apparently from the same root as H1465 in the sense of massing. A foreign nation, hence a Gentile. All right. This is Gentile, heathen, nation, people. All right. So let's come out of there. Verse 13, put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Now, was there other time in the scriptures you hear about the sickle? Okay, when the angel comes down and thrusts in this sickle, and reaps. Okay, again during the return of Yahweh Shai, of Mashiach. All right, when all the nations are going to be gathered together to make war against them. All right. Verse 13, put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Okay. Verse 14, multitudes in the valley of decision. For the day of the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem El Shah, is near in the valley of decision. Verse 15, the sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. 16, the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shah also shall roar out of Zion and utter his voice from Jerusalem. And the heavens and the earth shall shake. But the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai will be the hope of his people and the strength of the children of Israel. All right. So destruction and deliverance is coming. Okay. Simultaneously. At the return of Yahweh Shai to take down the armies of the world. Okay. Thousands and thousands of heaven. All right. Burn them up with his chariots. All right. And deliver his people. Period. From across the four winds. All right. And that is yet to take place. All right. But it's important to keep track of what's happening. Again, what's happening over there in the Middle East. All right. The Middle Eastern nations. All right. And just know that it's close. All right. It's very close. Next, I'm going to go to Zephaniah. Zephaniah 3. We go to 8. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination, this is the key, all right? For my determination is to gather the nations, okay, that I may assemble the kingdoms. All right? Now, for those of you who don't know, let's go ahead and look up the word kingdoms. All right. So Yahweh Shem Shai's determination. First, let's get determination for better understanding. Determination, judgment, justice, and ordinance. All right. So Yahweh Shem Shai's judgment. Okay. You go scroll further down. It says sentence, process. Okay. Decision, ordinance, right. The Strong's definition. Especially a sentence or formal decree, divine law, ceremony, charge. All right. So is Yahweh Shem Shai's what? Judgment. Okay. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Shai, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For it is my determination, all right, meaning judgment, okay, is to gather. I mean, this is during the time of judgment, all right, the judgment of the kings of the earth, okay, the judgment of the nations, all right, and to overthrow them, and Yahweh Shai is going to establish his kingdom here, all right. That is the end game. That is the prophecy that is yet to come, yet right around the corner. Okay. To pray to the prey for my determination is to gather the nations. Okay. To gather the nations. That's the judgment of Yahweh Shem Shai, to gather the nations. Why? All right. That I may assemble the kingdoms. Here we go. To pour upon them mine indignation. Okay. So all those kingdoms are going to be brought into. All those kingdoms are going to be brought into the valley of Yahweh Shaphat. Okay, and they're going to be assembled there. Why? Because they're going to fight against Yahweh Shai. All right. That I may assemble the kingdoms to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger. For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. Okay. How is that going to take place? All right. Let's get it. It's Second Ezra chapter 13, and I'll start at 3. It says, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. All right, this is talking about Yahweh Shai. 2 Ezra 13 and 4. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire. Okay. That's from the chariots, man. And the nuclear, into ICBM nuclear, thermonuclear missiles, man. Okay. A lot of things are going to be happening simultaneously, man. Okay. Verse 5, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. Now who's the multitude that gathered together, all right, from the four winds of the heaven? That's talking about the kings of the east. Okay. To subdue the man that came out of the sea. All right. Verse 6, 2 Ezra 13:6. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. That's a chariot, man. Fathership. Verse 7, but I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. That means the chariot is going to be so big, man, so great, it's going to eclipse everything, man. Okay? Everything. sorry, the scriptures say every eye shall see him. All right. It says, and I could not, verse 8, and after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. Okay. So all the armies are going to be gathered together by who? According to Zephaniah 3 and 8. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. It's his determination, it's his judgment to gather all the nations, man. Okay? For this very fight, this very moment that I'm reading right now. 2 Edges 13 and 8. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. Verse 9, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude, that's the armies, okay, and the military that was gathered together, okay, with their tanks and with the fighter jets and with the artillery, okay, etc. Okay, verse 9, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. Alright, that's how bad Yahweh Shai will be. Alright, nor any instrument of war. 10, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. Alright, now it's important, look up, you can look up, go to Google, look up blast of fire. Alright, in verse 10 here, 2 Edges 13:10. Alright, look up blast of fire, get a picture of it. Look up a flaming breath. Alright, look that up. And it says, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. Alright, and look up images for sparks and tempests. Now, here's why. Verse 11, and they were all mixed together. Alright, they were all mixed together. So you go to verse 10, 2 Edges 13:10, look up the images for each one of those things. Alright, and you put those together. Alright, and you'll see that that's talking about the chariots. Okay, it's talking about when Yahweh Shai is on his chariot. Alright, and they're all blasting and burning these people to crisp, man. Alright, but who are these people? Again, these are the different nations, man, gathered from the four winds. Alright, verse 11, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived. Okay, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. So Esdras was afraid when he saw this vision, man. Yahweh Shai and all the innumerable multitude of angels, man. Alright, the host of heaven that were with him, how they were wreaking havoc, man, and just and burning and annihilating these armies, man. Okay, so there will be one ultimate war to end all wars. Okay, this is Yahweh Shai and the hosts of heaven versus what? Okay, Esau and his military. All right, Esau being the counterpart. All right, the physical counterpart of Satan. All right, here on the earth. And you could tell that if any of you know, okay, about the Space Force that the United States military started to develop. Okay, and you know, their job is to patrol the skies. Okay, yeah, there's no wonder why they're doing that, because they know that they know the prophecies. They've been hearing the prophets speaking. Okay, they're watching the videos. All right, and then they know. Okay, and Yahweh Shai is making them prepare themselves. Okay, to fight against him. Okay. Those of you who don't know about that, look up the Space Force. All right, the United States Space Force, and I'm sure there's other countries that are in the process of working on that too. But ultimately, everything is going to be unified under a one world system. All right, one world military, one world religion, etc. Okay. Verse 12, afterward I saw the same man come down from the mountain and call unto him another peaceable multitude. All right, I'll end it there. That's all I wanted. Yeah, so as you can see, this is the place Yahweh Shai is gonna be behind, the one behind, all right, assembling all these nations and all these kingdoms to fight against Yahweh Shai. All right, just to be slaughtered, man. Okay, it's gonna be an utter defeat. All right, what does the scripture say? On his head he had many crowns, right? Okay, let's get that. Get it now. Uh, on his head were many crowns. He's Revelation 19. Let's see. Yep, the water. Revelation 19:12. It says his eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. Okay, why was it many crowns? That represents many kingdoms, man. Okay, Yahweh Shai, when he comes back, he's taking down everybody, man. Everybody that is not of his elect. All right. 2/3 of the nation of Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and these heathen nations, man. They are being brought down, and their military is going to fight. Yahweh Shemel Shai is going to assemble them to fight, and Yahweh Shai is going to overcome them, man. Okay, that's prophesied to happen, and it all starts, okay, of paying attention to what's happening over there in the Middle East, the Euphrates River, and the kings of the East moving towards all the land of Israel. All right, so something to pay attention to. All right. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns, and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. All right. Let's go ahead to the last precept, Second Chronicles, I believe. Second Chronicles. Was it 20? Second Chronicles 20 verse 6, and said, O Yahweh, Hashem Yahushua, power of our fathers, art not thou the power in heaven? And rulest not thou over all the kingdoms of the heathen? All right. Again, this is going to be orchestrated by Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. All right, to bring judgment upon the militaries. Okay, again, the kingdoms of this world. And Yahweh Shai is going to continue, is going to reign over this earth, point blank, period, man. Okay? And it's going to be brutal. All right? Nonetheless, Yahweh Shemel Shai is in control. It's his movies, his story. I pray for Yakim out there. Continue to endure, persevere. All right, stay in the faith. and enduring to the end. All right, I'll leave it there. Call Halal, Yah Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakwadash, Shalom.